I worked at a group home for kids who had been in the foster care system. It's with pretty severe behavior issues, kids who couldn't be in foster homes because of those behaviors. I remember there was this one time we were doing chores and all of a sudden I get hit in the back of the head with a broom handle by this probably like 8-year-old little girl. And me being the good staff, I take the broom away from her and I say, "You can't have this broom anymore because you're not being safe with it." And her response to me was, "Well, I tied a sock around the handle so it wouldn't hurt as much." And sure enough, there was a sock tied around the top of the handle. I'm not sure if she actually thought it wouldn't hurt as much or if that was just her excuse. I mean, I wasn't severely injured by any stretch of the imagination, but it just got me thinking about how we often do a similar thing with our own actions, particularly with our words. We say something to someone that we know is probably not really the best thing, probably something that maybe is hurtful, but then we couch it in this like, "Well, I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you about my feelings." Yes, honesty about our feelings is important. Being honest with the people in our lives, not stuffing it or bottling it or exploding, all of those things. But we can't use that as a justification. We can't use that as the sock tied around the broom handle to be hurtful. And I think we know the difference between when we need to say something like that true, speaking the truth in love, and when we're just kind of feeling and are using truth as an excuse to vent, to get things off our chest, to say things that might not be very kind. Are you using global pandemic as your sock around the broom handle? Are you using that with yourself? Are you kind of beating yourself up for things that you think you should be doing in this time? Can we just be more gentle with each other? Can we be more gentle with the people in our life? And the reality is that whether you tie a sock around a broom handle or not, getting hit in the back of the head hurts. And it's not safe. So let's take some time to be appropriately self-reflective, to not hit people and couch it in this like, "Well, you're just what? You're just feeling frustrated and lashing out?" And it doesn't even have to be like this big lash out in anger or exploding or whatever. It's usually more that subtle thing. That subtle, like freezing somebody out, giving somebody the silent treatment, just being kind of grumpy. And again, yes, we are in the middle of a global pandemic, and so our emotions are going to be all over the place, and life is going to be weird and crazy, and we're going to go through periods of grief and sadness and feeling confused and wanting normal and being upset and all of those things. Emotions are going to come. But just because emotions come doesn't mean that we don't still have responsibility in how we choose to respond to those emotions. Okay? We have a responsibility. And we have to use that well. We have to be aware of those emotions. We have to be aware of our own typical response pattern. What are you like when you get irritated? What do you like when you get kind of grumpy? Are there certain people that tend to get the brunt of that? What's really going on? Because, again, whether you tie a sock around the broom handle or not, it's gonna hurt. So don't say things that are hurtful. Don't say things that are hurtful to yourself. Don't say things that are hurtful to other people. Watch your tongue. And let's choose grace and patience and forgiveness when we can.